Swapan Dasgupta and Sumansi Raman with us. Just quick word, if they are through with us, on this entire reaction and how this conversation's been coming out. So anything that's not, either is this denial or is this syndrome where the idiot will refuse or deny the other person his partners?
Well, if you ask me personally, I think there's always been this case of denial in Indian politics of exit polls. Now, that's also because in tight contests, exit polls have sometimes been wrong. We've seen that in various parts. But this is not a tight contest under any circumstances. I think it's quite emphatic. So what else can you do? I mean, have a heart for poor Rahul Gandhi, it's a sort of form of bravado more than denial, I would say. And more than anything else, what they're not looking at, it's not the distribution of seats. I do confess that the translation of votes into seats is prone to a bit of error. And I think normally the exit pollsters are on the side of conservative assessments.
And caution, yeah.
But if you look at the popular vote, which is flashing on your screen at the moment, I mean, that's going to tell a remarkably dramatic story. And if that is right, and okay, even if you say that's not 47, it'll end up either as 48 or 46. Even that is just, the implications of that are going to be monumental. And I think we should be prepared for that somewhere in the back of my head. And I would, and I didn't know Rahul could remember the 60s so vividly. I thought he was much younger.
But then
Rahul Shashankar, come on, man. I challenge you. I dare you. I double dare you.
Look, I'm just well read.
Tell our viewers. Tell
I'm
Swapan
well
Dasgupta. Prove him wrong. You're
well
not from the
researched.
60s.
I'm well researched and well read, but I am teetering on the verge of 50. So,
all right. Sumansi Raman, there can be a refusal to accept. Yes, Swapanji, you wanted to say something. Yeah.
No, I said that's something we're accused of. And exit polls getting it wrong. There are two international cases of exit polls getting it wrong. First was in 1992 in UK, when they said anticipated a Labour victory, and it turned out to be a narrow victory for John Major. And the second one was, of course, the Trump and Hillary Clinton one. That's the more dramatic one, it's there. But both were extremely tight races. Extremely tight races, where you could flip the coin and it could go the other way. But on this, I don't think there's any scope for doubt that we are seeing the return of Narendra Modi.
Look at the base of the sample.
Since he mentioned John Major, I think a comparison is worth drawing. So in England, for example, you had, I think, from 77 to the early 90s, the whole Conservative era, Margaret Thatcher, followed by John Major. And then you had the New Labour era from 97 all the way till the end of the 2000s. Are we seeing, as they say in this part of the world, a dawn, a Modi ka dawn, a 15-year era of Modi and traditional right-of-centre politics, and this mandate sort of affirms that?
There can be a Modi ka daur, but the fact is, accept it and do something about it as opposition.
Sure.
Don't be in denial and also abuse the voter
outrightly. That Zaka's posed.
Outrightly abusing the voter. Swapanji, your reaction, and Sumansi Raman, yes.
I think there's a peculiar thing. They're saying we respect the voter, but this is not the voter speaking. And then there's some confusion about where the EVMs also fit in to exit polls. EVMs have no role whatsoever in exit polls. I mean, that's a
no, but this Modi ka daur question of Zaka, would you accept? Would you agree? This is the Modi ka daur.
It is a Modi era. When history is written, the 15 years, or maybe it'll be 20 years, God knows whatever it is. It's it's a phase which started right from 1991 in the Ayodhya thing. And it goes on. And this is the culmination of long years of a particular form, what Nalin was hinting at, the gradual evolution of the right-of-centre politics and the creation of an alternative to the Nehruvian model. Now, whether you call it the Modi model, whether you call it the Hindutva model, that's up to the historians of the future to think. But an alternative has been created. An alternative value system, an alternative political consensus has been created, and we are seeing
Right.
it coming to fruition in this election.
Sumant Raman and then
May I
Nalin?
say
Okay,
that-
Nalin and then
may I
Sumant
say
Raman. Yeah.
that, I think if I can take forward what Swapan was talking about, compared to other democracies, when an alternative like this comes around, like if you look at Trump, you look at the UK and so on, those were radical departures from what the conservative movement in that country itself represented. In the case of Modi, the ideological contours of what the new BJP stands for are exactly the same as it was in the 1950s what the Jansangh was. It's just that it was completely unelectable at the national scale. What Modi has done post 2014 is to make those ideas and that ideology absolutely is shifted the center to the right and has become the predominant intellectual, politically powerful force in the country. So in that sense, the ideas are fully developed. Modi has made them electable and he's led it from the front. So this is definitely a Modi era. Also because, see, even after Nehru died, the prime ministers that followed, including for non-Congress government, who opposed the Congress, they didn't necessarily challenge the idea of Nehruvianism itself. Even a prime minister like Vajpayee was often talked about as, the right prime minister in the wrong party and so on. So, but Modi is very different. Modi represents the ideology and absolutely.
And he's wearing it on his sleeve and he's unabashed about it. Yes.